Hi everyone, this is Mark here and welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, welcome. And if you like to follow along as we turn this abandoned piece of land into our home, make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss the next updates. For now, I'm posting a new video every second Friday, and today we're picking up right where we left off, with the walls. After finishing the fourth row, I just couldn't wait any longer. It was time to measure out the window gaps. All the measurements were taken from the outer edge of the house, and since the walls were already close to a meter high, it was super important to make sure all the corners were perfectly vertical from the beginning. That way, the windows will line up exactly as planned. This time, I measured the bathroom window, which is going to be 60 cm wide, but I actually left a 70 cm gap. That gives me 5 cm of insulation on each side. As I mentioned earlier, that extra insulation helps keep the house warm in winter and cool in summer. Once that was done, I just drew a few guidelines on the wall so I'd know where the last brick would end. After loads of measuring, running back and forth, and double checking everything, I finally got all the windows marked out. My wife helped me hold the other end of the tape. Honestly, doing it alone would have been a nightmare. The previous day I've done it myself and it wasn't fun. I had to put a nail in the wall, hook the end of the tape on this nail, and just try to match the zero with the edge of the house. It was a disaster, not a fun thing to do alone. Every time I reached the end of a row, placing that final brick was just so satisfying, like a perfect finishing touch before moving on to the next one. Later that afternoon, we lit a little campfire and cooked some food we had prepared earlier at home. This time, it was some mincemeat patties stuffed with mushrooms and a bit of toasted sweetbread on the side. It was the perfect break after a long day. I can't wait to finish this house, so I'll have more time to get out into the wild again, cook some food outdoors, and of course share that with you too. After the sixth row, things started to get a bit tricky. Lifting those bricks above shoulder height wasn't fun, so I placed the plank across two bricks to give me a bit of extra height. I did have a folding ladder, but the legs made it hard to get close to the wall, so it didn't really work out for me. So the next day I picked up a couple of simple work stands, nothing fancy, but they were way cheaper than the heavy duty ones, and worked just fine. Now about the windows. We visited a few shops just to check the options and see what kind of prices we could get. We even looked into adding triangle shed windows up top just to see how much extra that would cost, but that's a topic for a future episode. For now, we decided to go with a smaller bathroom window without taking up too much space. It will sit a little higher than the rest of the windows because I'll be hiding the toilet's water tank inside the wall just underneath it. It's one of those small design choices that will make the bathroom look cleaner and a bit more modern maybe, once it's finished. On the right side of the house, we will have 3 windows that should bring in plenty of sunlight throughout the day. When we designed the house, we tried to make sure we would get as much natural light as possible. Well, as much as you can have in Poland anyway. All the windows will be the same size, except the one in the living room, which will be slightly bigger, for extra sunlight. And finally, one window in the front. That makes 5 windows downstairs, plus the main entrance and the patio door at the back. We try to plan everything to suit our needs without wasting any money on things we don't really need. Before I wrap up the story, there is one more thing to talk about. The pillar. This pillar, as you can see, is just bricks glued and stacked together, even though it won't have any load-bearing role later on, but I still added some rebars under it, just to be safe. I had carved out a hole in the brick, roughly about 60 cm long and a few centimeters wide. Once that was done, I cleaned it out carefully to make sure there was no dust left underneath the glue. Then I checked if the rebar would fit, and luckily it fit perfectly. After that, I repeated the same process on the other side of the brick, another quick sweep to remove any leftover dust, and then it was time to fill the whole halfway with glue. Once the glue was in, I pushed the rebar firmly into place and filled up the rest of the hole with glue. It was completely sealed at the end, and that was it, simple but effective. This little step was necessary because the brick underneath wasn't laid in bond, and these rebars will add that extra bit of strength we need in that section. And this is where we are right now. The walls are almost finished, and the roof is waiting for us next. We're really happy with the progress so far, especially when we think back to a year ago. Back then, there were absolutely nothing on this land, and now we nearly have a half house. Well, that's it for today's update. I hope to see you again in 2 weeks, and thank you so much for all your support over the past year. If you haven't subscribed yet, consider doing so, and if you have any questions, drop them down below in the comments. Thanks a lot for watching. Mark is out. Peace.